So I've been training for roughly 19 years. The motivation for training, I grew up in a martial arts family. Um, the other parts of it kind of get real deep, but the reality of it is that when you are away from home, I was in the military, there's little nuggets that you look for with being at home, and something as trivial as the smell of a gym where martial artists are coming, that'll bring you home. So that was my reintroduction to martial arts, and I just don't like stopping anything. So that's why I've been doing it for as long as I have. So coming from a family of martial artists, inherently getting my children involved in martial arts is a critical core requirement in the house. Not only for the physical aspect of it, but more so for the mental aspect of it. My son did Jiu-Jitsu for a while and inevitably found that that wasn't for him. And part of the martial arts ethos, or like the whole Bushido that you'll find a lot of old Japanese artists will say, that culture and that ethos is to own up to things. And when he decided that he wanted to stop, it was an extension of his martial arts to be able to confront that uncomfortability and speak of it. When my daughters were old enough to start, I introduced them slowly. Initially, they didn't want to do it, so reluctantly over time, and I brought them into a different martial art, and they started to understand the martial arts culture. And when they started doing jiu-jitsu again, they found that the ability to apply what was learned or taught that day, the challenge in that is really what they caught on to. But ultimately, for me, as a father that's in martial arts, my obligation was to introduce them. And I'm fortunate enough that they chose to keep the conversation. Training at Team Passos, training with Tony, it's not a team, right? It's not Tony. It is a community, right? So training with this community has been almost unexplainably beneficial, and it's been an almost unexplainable blessing. I call it a community because it's a living, breathing entity that you have to actively contribute to. And during my 12 years within this community, we've celebrated births, we've celebrated deaths. Every almost day we celebrate a birthday, right? We've also celebrated some pretty hard losses. Not in the tradition of celebrating and being happy about them, but in identifying and embracing, and as a community coming together and in our own language, in a role, having a nonverbal conversation about the hardship that we're enduring. So the experience here at the community of this jiu-jitsu environment, I don't feel comfortable relegating it to a single or singular aspect of team, because it's more inclusive. The impact that jiu-jitsu has had on my family is not very visible or tangible. Jiu-jitsu will affect you as a person. It will build your courage to find your way through tough situations. The way that relates with my family is when we have to talk about something, we sit down and we go through the hardship of it. We go through the awkwardness of it, right? And we get through it. Just like when you learn a new move, it's gonna be awkward. Tony said last night, if you do a new move and you feel good about it, you're probably doing it wrong. So embracing that awkwardness and being able to find comfort in that, and reassurance that after that uncomfortability, after that awkwardness, there will be improvement. If I was to attribute that to something other than just my parents and my core values, I would attribute it to the ability to practice that daily within the community and through jiu-jitsu. I can't say necessarily that I've experienced a transformation in myself or witnessed a transformation in my daughters, what I can see is an accountability within those two aspects. In myself, I see that there is an accountability to look within. In Jiu-Jitsu, unlike any other martial art, there is no running away from, for lack of a better term, a beating, right? You have your opponent either on top or on bottom of you. You have the floor on top or on bottom of you, or you're stuck and you can't move. And sometimes in life, you'll be that way. And without the accountability to say that this is my responsibility to fight to win and not to fight to lose less, and to push through the hardship and either win or lose and accept that as it is and find that lesson in it and move on, you can't really say that that's one thing or another. In my daughters, what I've seen in the time that they've been in Jiu-Jitsu is looking to their right or to their left, or one side to the other, and seeing a smile. They started a little apprehensive because Jiu-Jitsu was a community that I brought them into, and now it's a community that they're making of their own. So to see that evolution in their personalities and the extension of their peer group and friend group, that's something, as we say, it's not just about Jiu-Jitsu. Someone thinking about training at Team Passos, the only thing I would say is, why not? Come here, try it. There will not be an easy day. There won't. This is a team that will push you, not just your jiu-jitsu. We will push you to be a better you, to be a better man, to be a better woman, to be a better daughter, son, whether you're a father or mother of your own. Coming to Team Passos is more than jiu-jitsu. You're gonna learn some great jiu-jitsu though. Top-notch jiu-jitsu that will allow for you to express yourself through what is taught, and not just be good at being a lexicon of submission identification, but be good at identifying how to navigate and how to move others within a realm that has an advantageous outcome for you, and if as a mentor, for them as well, without making it forced.